Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been getting a ton of requests to really dig into the world of gambling.
Yeah, tons of stuff sent in by listeners, articles, research reports, you name it.
It seems like everyone is fascinated by, I guess, how much things are changing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got these online casinos and sports betting sites just exploding in popularity. And it's not just competing with the traditional casinos. It feels like it's really shifting the whole landscape.
Absolutely. And the material you all sent in paints such a vivid picture of this evolution. It's a really rich collection of perspectives.
So what we're going to do today is dive deep, literally, into this dynamic. We'll try to pull out the most important insights. What makes online and physical casinos tick? What are the pros and cons of each?
Hey, what are those trade-offs people are making?
Yeah. And where does it all seem to be heading? What's the future of this whole industry?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, let's get started. So let's start with, well, I guess the OG, right?
Mm.
Brick and mortar casinos.
Right, the classics.
These places still have a huge following, a massive draw. Why is that?
Yeah.
What is it about those physical casinos that keeps people coming back?
One thing that really jumps out from all the stuff you sent in is that sensory experience. Like, think about it for a second.
Okay, yeah.
The sound of that roulette ball, like, skipping and clicking as it slows down.
Oh, yeah, I can hear it.
The cards,
Yeah,
that shuffling sound a good dealer makes.
it's almost hypnotic, that riffle.
Exactly. And those chips, right, the weight of them, that clinking sound when you stack them up after a win, it's tactile.
And it's so different from clicking a button on your phone, right?
Totally. Those digital platforms, even with all the tech advances, they still struggle to recreate those sensations. It's just not the same.
Right, and that brings up another point from the listener submissions, the whole aura, the mystique of these legendary casino destinations.
Like Vegas.
Oh yeah, Vegas, Monte Carlo, places like that, they've cultivated this image, this energy.
It's an experience.
It really is. It's the dazzling lights, the incredible shows, the architecture, that whole sense of being somewhere special. You feel like you're part of something.
It goes way beyond just placing bets. It's an escape, a whole vacation vibe.
I mean, think about it. You've got world-class restaurants, shopping, incredible entertainment, all rolled into one. So many of these casinos, it's like they're built for celebrations.
Weddings, birthdays, bachelor parties, it's all happening there.
And the whole social aspect. It's a huge part of the draw, right?
Huge. I mean, being surrounded by other people, sharing those moments of excitement, the highs and lows, the cheers, the groans, you don't get that same energy online.
Exactly. That energy. Can you imagine being at a craps table when someone hits a crazy long shot?
Oh man, the place erupts.
Right. Everyone goes wild. Or think about poker, the intensity around the table, everyone reading each other, trying to stay stone-faced. There's that immediate face-to-face dynamic that you just can't replicate through a screen.
That shared emotional experience is powerful. I mean, some online platforms try, right? They have chat features, live dealers.
Yeah, but it's just not the same.
Right, and it makes you wonder, can they ever truly capture that?
Maybe that's part of the enduring appeal of those physical spaces.
Ah,
Okay, so we've talked about the allure of those traditional casinos, but now let's flip the coin and talk about this surge in online casinos and sports betting. Why are those platforms becoming so popular? What's driving that growth?
one word. Convenience.
Convenience.
Convenience. It's just so easy. You pull out your phone, you open an app, and boom, you can place a bet on a game, spin some virtual slots, even join a live blackjack table with a real dealer. And you can do this anywhere, anytime.
That's a huge factor, isn't it? The 247 access. Physical casinos have opening hours. Online, it's always open.
Always. And the barriers to entry are so low. No dress code, no travel costs. You can start with small amounts of money. It's really democratized gambling in a way.
It really has. And you can't forget the technology. I mean, it's evolving at such a rapid pace.
Absolutely. The stuff in these sources is mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah. Like AI. I read about how it's being used to analyze how people play and recommend personalized games.
It's like a personal concierge for your gambling experience.
Right. It's not just random anymore. The platform learns what you like and suggests things you might enjoy. And then there's VR. Talk about changing the game.
Virtual reality could be a game changer, literally.
Mm.
Put on a headset and you could be sitting at a poker table in Macau feeling like you're really there.
That's the kind of immersive experience that could bridge the gap with physical casinos, right?
And what about blockchain?
Ah, blockchain. That's another big one. Think of it as a digital ledger,
Mm.
a record of every bet and payout that everyone can see and verify.
So it makes things more transparent and fair.
Exactly. And it's also driving this whole trend of crypto betting.
Mm.
People are using Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to place bets.
So it's not just about convenience, it's also about pushing the boundaries of what's possible with technology.
Absolutely. And then we have to talk about sports betting. It's just exploded online. Yeah, it's everywhere now. And I think regulations have relaxed in a lot of places, which has made it more accessible.
And it's gone way beyond just picking who's going to win a game. I mean, you can bet on almost anything now.
Oh yeah, the auctions are crazy.
Live in-game betting, the next play, the next pitch, how many points will be scored in this quarter. And the analytics are so detailed, you can really geek out on the stats.
It's like fantasy sports on steroids. You could even bet on the length of the Super Bowl national anthem, for crying out loud. I read that in one of the sources.
It's incredible, but it also raises some important questions.
Okay, so let's talk about the downsides.
Right, because with all this ease of access and excitement, there are risks.
Yeah. What are some of those risks that the sources highlighted?
Well, that same convenience that makes online gambling so attractive can also make it harder to manage.
Meaning?
It's always there, right? You can bet anytime, anywhere. And you're often dealing with digital money, which doesn't feel as real as cash.
It's easy to get caught up in the moment.
Exactly. And it can be harder to set limits to walk away when you need to.
So it can increase the risk of problem gambling.
Absolutely. And that's why the role of regulators is so important in this space.
Okay, so what are regulators doing to try to mitigate some of these risks?
Well, there are a number of initiatives underway. You've got deposit limits, which allow people to set a cap on how much they can spend,
That makes sense.
and self-exclusion programs. If someone feels like they're losing control, they can block themselves from all gambling platforms.
That sounds like a pretty powerful tool.
It is. And of course, strong identity verification is key to prevent underage gambling and make sure the platforms are secure.
It sounds like responsible gambling is becoming a much bigger focus for the industry as a whole.
It has to be. Both online and physical casinos are recognizing that they have a responsibility to promote responsible gambling. It's not just good ethics, it's essential for their long-term sustainability.
Smart business.
Right.
So we have these two models, right? The traditional brick-and-mortar casinos and the exploding world of online gambling. Where does this all go from here? Is one going to wipe out the other?
I don't think it's a zero-sum game. I mean, yeah, online gambling is booming, but physical casinos still offer something unique, that immersive experience, that social element.
Right, and those destinations aren't just sitting on their hands, are they?
Not at all. They're adapting. Lots of casino operators are launching their own online platforms, trying to capture a slice of that market.
I've seen that. They're using apps for rewards programs, personalized offers, and I even read about some casinos experimenting with live streaming games from their floors, trying to bring that live energy to online players.
Exactly. So it's not just a competition, it's a convergence. The lines are blurring.
So the future might be this blend of online and offline experiences, right? Maybe you play some bets online, do some research, then you head to a casino with your friends to watch a big game, experience the atmosphere.
Right. And I think the most successful operators will be the ones who can seamlessly integrate those two worlds, offer a range of options to meet different needs.
So if we had to sum up everything we've learned from all the sources you sent in, what would be the big takeaway? What's the key insight?
The gambling industry is evolving. It's not just about online versus physical anymore. It's about integrating technology with tradition, finding ways to provide convenience and responsible gaming.
It's a new era.
It really is.
So to all our listeners out there, think about this. What appeals to you most about gambling? Was it the thrill of being in a casino surrounded by the lights and the sound, that social energy? Or is it the convenience of online gambling, being able to play anytime, anywhere?
It's a fascinating question to consider, not just for gambling, but for how we experience all kinds of entertainment in the future. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for listening.